Sometimes in life, people can hurt us emotionally so deeply, and we can find ourselves reacting to that experience with intense anger, and a hatred can grow inside of us. And this anger and hatred can become like a bomb going off in your life in many directions, because we are energy beings, and the energy that we feed grows in our lives and around us. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the opportunity that anger offers us as a student of our own lives. It's important first to understand that if you've been hurt by someone, it doesn't necessarily mean that they've tried to do that consciously. There are many disappointments that we will experience in life that will hurt us, but it doesn't always mean that the person that did hurt us meant to. Sometimes people do intend you harm. Sometimes they create harm unconsciously. Regardless of if it was intentional or unintentional, you have a choice as to how you process this information and how you let it affect your life. The power is always in your control when it comes to processing emotionally and intelligently. I don't want to minimize the hurt that you might feel, the pain that someone might have put you through, the torment that you go through remembering these memories, the trauma that can be endured through acts of emotional, psychological, or physical abuse. My intention here is not to minimize you or what you've experienced in any way. As a survivor of many things myself, I am simply leading you into a conversation that helps you know how to not continue destroying yourself because of what has happened to you. I've had to teach myself these things too. I have had to survive many terrible things in my lifetime, from the age of childhood and on. But rather than allow them to destroy me, as they definitely tried to for so long, I overcame them by understanding how to process my emotions in a way that would be beneficial to me. And that's what I want to help you with. Anger comes up when we feel that we have been wronged and something happened to us that was outside of our control. Oftentimes, after the experience has happened, and as we reflect upon the experience, that anger can begin to build. It can go from a small baseball-size anger, and the more you reflect on it, the more you process it, the more angry you become, until the next thing you know, your entire room that you're in is on fire, proverbially speaking. Understanding that where your consciousness goes, energy will grow. And if your consciousness is going back to a trauma or something that was out of your control that made you feel hurt and angry, then you can expect that terrible trauma and feeling to get even bigger and more overwhelming the more that you focus on it. It's important to process the experience from an objective lens, to take yourself out of that experience as a victim and subject for just a moment, in order that you can go through a healing process for yourself. What I like to do is take a sheet of paper and write down that experience. Write down my feelings, what I remember about it, the thing that made me feel so angry about it, and get it all out on a sheet of paper. Get it outside of your body. Take it outside of your physical experiential body and look at it from a different place. When you're able to do that, you're able to be a compassionate advocate for yourself, rather than feeling that you become an inner warrior and you're ready to go annihilate that person or destroy their life because of how much they've hurt you, destroying your own life in the end because you're changing who you are. Rather than go through that process of devaluing your life, get it out on a sheet of paper, write out what happened to you. And if there are multiple stories, write each of them out. Write everything that you remember that is burning hot inside of you, that makes you feel angry, that makes you feel out of control. Once you've written your first story out, I want you to sit back and I want you to tune in to the pain that you feel. And if you feel tears coming through, I want you to grieve those tears. It's very important that you allow them to flow out of your body so that that cortisol in your body, that stress hormone that you're holding on to, can flow out of your body so that your body can begin to heal. This is a very important part of the grief process. When we hold on to anger, we stunt being able to grieve. So it's important to let the tears flow. Once you see what you've written out and what you've gone through, you will feel compassion for yourself. You're going to move your heart into that moment and you're going to say to yourself, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. I now know how to protect us, how to keep us safe. I see the mistakes that were made, and I am willing to process this now from a different lens so that I can do my best at building emotional intelligence and keeping us safe in the future. It's okay for us to let go of this anger. It's okay for us to let go and to grieve. It's all right for us to move into a new time and space to learn to trust again, to learn to experience life again as we once did. If this is a trauma that happened to you as a child, then it's okay to speak to your inner child and say, I'm so sorry that happened to you. I will never let anybody do that to you again. You are so important to me. This is all dialogue that you want to be continuing to say with yourself over time. Self-affirmations as much as you need to move into your heart and your empowerment and move away from the anger and the loss of control and the trauma. You see, in neurobiology, in the mapping of the brain and the nervous system that connects to the emotions, you will find that what you think about enforces the synaptic receptors in the brain. The more that you consider and think about an experience, the stronger it becomes, the more hyper-aware your brain becomes on it being something that's happening to you in the now. So the only way to reprogram your brain and your body would be to get that experience out of your body. And then once you've processed it, to stop thinking about it, to stop processing it in your brain, to stop accessing the memories. Because accessing the memories is keeping the nervous system in those memories strong and hyper acute. It will become your processing filter from which you examine all life through. So if you want to have a new life and you want to go beyond that anger and trauma, then what you have to do is process it from a physical place first. As I've said, get it out of your body, take ownership of what you will do to protect yourself from here on out in a loving way, and not make it about who hurt you. Don't make it about the person that hurt you at all. Make it about yourself and what you're going to do in your own power to make sure this doesn't happen again. Sometimes in the stories that we have written out, we will find there's encoded information in there for us to gain insight. Maybe the information was subconscious information that we hadn't seen prior. Maybe we were adults and we walked into a situation and we didn't know that taking a few steps towards this direction would lead us to such disastrous outcomes. When we analyze things from an objective angle, we're able to learn about what choices we made that we may not want to make again. And instead of being angry about it and hateful about it, instead of letting that energy grow in us, we become wise. We learn, oh, here's what I did, and I see if I would have listened to my intuition right here, this may not have happened. There is sometimes very useful information in going back and processing the experience from an objective angle to say, is there anything that I can empower myself through to know what I might have done wrong? Did I not listen to something? Did I not listen to my instincts? Were there red flags that I might have missed or ignored because I thought it was nothing? But when we sit in a place of being angry at somebody, we literally cut off our rational brain that has the ability to become emotionally aware and wise. Allowing yourself to learn from experiences is what this life is all about. We are in a learning school. Our souls came here to learn. They came here to learn what it's like to be in the human experience. And not all experiences are here to destroy us. Some are here to make us wiser and stronger. And even though some experiences can threaten us, we can still find a way to overcome that struggle. And when we do, we can find a life that feels so beautiful and we feel so empowered through it because we really have overcome difficulties that were incredibly challenging. So I want to encourage you, if you have a person in your life that you are so busy hating, that you just really feel is vile and they're the worst person ever, and how could they even be alive on the face of this planet? Instead of focusing on that person and the thing that you hate, focus on yourself and the thing that you love. Focus on what it is you want to do with that love. Where do you want to bring that love out of yourself and help the world with it? That is what makes life worth living. Focusing on the hate that you feel for someone and the hate that you feel for others is only going to bring more hate into the world. But if you focus on anything that you feel loving towards, and maybe you've been shut down from feeling love because you're so traumatized and you're so angry right now. And if that's the case, start small. Go to a park, listen to the wind in the trees, listen to the birds sing to your soul, watch how the squirrels look for the nuts, look for the beauty in the world, look for the experience of nature bringing you back to the harmonic balance that is all around us. We are going to die one day, and you do not want to find out on your last day alive that this world was beautiful, but that you were focusing on the wrong thing. Allow your consciousness to help you tune into the beauty that you can recover in your heart and soul. Everybody in the world goes through incredible levels of betrayal and pain. Every single one of us. Nobody escapes it. Even those who pretend to have a beautiful, wonderful life are not escaping it. They are just denying it, which increases their heartbreak inside. If you can choose to use your life in a way that says, hey, I know we're all humans, but let's try to be the best humans we can. And since I can't control you, I'm going to honor you with the love and the beauty in my heart and with forgiveness. Forgiveness is something you do for yourself so that you can let go of the past, so that you can let go of the thing that makes you want to hurt someone else. Hurting someone else doesn't change what happened to you. It will never change that. What can change it is your perspective and how you see its value. If you change how you allow yourself to experience it, you are able to be more powerful than the experience itself. My name is Dawn the Empath. If you have any comments in the section below of what you're experiencing, or any questions that you have, or how you can let go of your anger, or any guidance that you might need for healing, please let me know. I love you all. Remember, be loving to one another. This world is hurting. Every single person in it. Be well.